This is AC Starlord, and welcome to my channel. AC Starlord Reviews, aka Austin, and welcome back to my channel. I know I talked earlier today, talked about Old, and broke that down a little bit. This is a new review, a new movie for this Halloween movie marathon. It's called Crimson Peak. A movie that someone special to me introduced me to. It was one of her favorite movies. And without her introducing me to this movie, I wouldn't know such a twisted Halloween movie, all mixed in one, but that's a good thing. It's all twisted with different things, like it's a horror movie, ghost story, slasher, and a messed up love story all at the same time. So it looks more like and it's built in the time period of like Sherlock Holmes and Hamilton, around that time, I think. Either choose and your memory and your imagination of what time period it is, because I'm more leaning on Sherlock Holmes, because this is a fantasy story and that's a fantasy story, and you get my point. I don't know, it could be it can be the 18 somethings, but anyways, it starts off like a kind of like a love, like kind of like one of the like Sherlock Holmes. Not like Sherlock Holmes, but like in that time period, like a love story or whatever, and then it changes throughout the whole movie. So this girl is a writer, and the girl in the movie is a writer, and she writes about love, but then no one's picking it up because nobody wants to read about love. So she does a love story with ghosts in it, and then she says, "Well, I used to not believe in ghosts, but now I do believe in ghosts," and narrates the whole story from that point on. She lives with her dad, and dad's like has money and does business deals with other people. So, and then she has a suitor that's a doctor that's chasing after her, but she doesn't really want to be tied down to certain someone, just random, just a random person. But she's flattered that that dude likes her. Also flattered that she kind of likes him a little bit, but not willing to give it up her life like that right away, until she meets Loki, aka Tom Hiddleston. Loki's in this, and Loki's different in this. Loki is very terrifying and scary, and more terrifying and scary than any character, any other time, and as he plays this new character in this movie. Loki's the most terrifying thing in the MCU that I've seen so far. Now, because he's the god of mischief, and he does things that are, blows your mind and scares you. I mean, even the Loki show, like, there's several of them, and Tom Hiddleston is one of them, So the world of several different, Lokis, it's like, okay, cool. It's weird, but anyways, he plays this character that wants he has his rig to build up and get clay from the ground and all that stuff, and then he has a sister, but him and his sister are secret lovers. So he's married to his sister, but they have this plan to get the girl the main girl I was talking about, to fall in love with him, so they can have the money and settlement of her daddy's money. Basically, he falls in love with her. She falls in love with him, and the dad doesn't like that. The dad's trying to get rid of him and the sister, and they accomplishingly do. But he's still falling deeply in love with her. So he can't let her go. So there was a crime spree that happened, and basically crime happens, and that's her father getting murdered by someone they don't know yet, and it's a mystery. Then eventually, they get married, but they go on a couple dates in between before her dad gets killed and stuff like that. And Tom Hiddleston's character is really charming, and then they get married and they move into this house on a peak with the dirt being all red, hence the name, the title, Crimson Peak, and they say it later on in the movie, of course. And then weird stuff started happening. Like before, she saw her mom as a ghost at her house, and now she's seen a different ghost, or still her mother, or different other ghosts in that house. And then then the sister, aka his wife, slowly gives her tea that has something in it, but she doesn't know what it is. But she eventually finds out what it is. It is poison. They've been poisoning her so she can slowly die. So they get her money and from her father, and they can, make his clay machine bigger, better, and out there, I guess, or have several of them in different places, because he went to London and other different foreign country, other places to get some. He went to America to get this done. So they moved and then while they're moving there, weird things start happening to her. She doesn't feel well most of the time. It gets too much for her, so her and Tom Hiddleston go to a different place. They have love. They make love. The wife's sister gets jealous because that's the only person for him. I mean, that's the only person for her, and he said he would never do that. But he's actually in love with her, and then she plots a revenge to kill her, anyways. And then that's when it becomes a slasher movie where she chases him. She chases her with a knife and all that stuff. He even kills Tom Hiddleston. But at the time when Tom Hiddleston's alive, he's just very charming, but very, for me, how to say, very creepy, very scary. He's just very scary in the way his charming in this movie is, and the way his character portrays himself as kind but also sinister behind the scenes. And she also discovers that there's teeing the poison, and they're slowly doing that, and Tom Hiddleston demands her sister/wife to stop, and she doesn't want to because she wants money. And then eventually that's when it comes up to the very end where it becomes a slasher, and then she ends up killing her brother/husband, and then chases around, and she ends up killing her, the sister, and that's pretty much the improv, because basically the doctor gets involved that she knows and tries to rescue her out, and then Tom Hiddleston saves his life. Stabs in the stomach, tries to save his life and all that stuff, but to a point where he doesn't die. But basically the love story, she loves him, the sister loves him, and then he can't decide what's happening there. Then you see a lot of ghosts in there. She sees a lot of ghosts, and the ghosts are trying to tell her things, trying to tell the main girl, his wife, that's not really technically his wife, different things about Crimson Peak and where they live and how that place is a bad place. And then you discovered that it's her Tom Hiddleston's sister that kills kills her father, and then all that stuff. But basically, the ghost parts of this is scary. The sister's very scary, but also Tom Hiddleston with her is very scary as well. The slasher, the very part of it becomes a slasher. That's why I love enjoying slasher. You guys know that if you guys seen this channel. I love talking about slasher movies like Chucky, Jason, and Michael Myers and all that stuff. But this is different. This is completely different. And the time setting of it being in Sherlock Holmes / Hamilton, whatever you want to say, in 18, whatever, or whatever, that time setting, that time era is very great. But yeah, it's a good movie. I highly recommend checking it out for Halloween. And I'm glad that my friend my friend that's a girlfriend introduced me to this movie. So If you like and subscribe, and if you like this video, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, you already know. So, see you in the next video, which hopefully might be Black Phone or something like that. Then you also get ends, Halloween ends.